here. So if you want to place these by the wall, then do so. If you think they're a bit slippy, then put them to the wall. I'm just going to have them there because actually this will help me to identify where the roots are. And I'm just going to place my heels onto the support like this. So now I'm not pushing away, I'm going down, grounding down into the heels, but also lifting up through the legs. So you want to see that you lift up through the legs, pull up through the thighs, and continue to get that opening. So it changes the dynamic of the leg, and this is what you have to consider when you're practicing any forward action. Okay, just watch, come down for a moment. So some of you are already done, maybe. I'm going to turn the bricks this way. Now, if you haven't got bricks, by all means, use some books, but get yourself a yoga kit. All right, so we're going to put the feet. Now, I want you to see that you walk your hands back. Oh, this is an ouchy, difficult one on the hips and pelvis if you're tight. So I'm trying to level my bricks up here. Now you want to try to get your heels down. Now for some of you, you may not be able to get your heels down. And don't worry about that at all. So you want to press down as much as you can so you know the direction. And from that, you've got to pull up your knees. The kneecaps, the thighs have got to reach to the root. We spoke about the root, didn't we? You want to find that root very strongly and lift up. So this time, we're going to stay a little bit longer, finding that connection with the open of the legs. Go up, go up. Just when you thought your skin wouldn't move anymore, there's a little bit more action. Okay, and now releasing down. Okay, well done. So we're coming for Okavirasana. Now, those of you who find this challenging, just have a look at the screen and you'll be able to see the alternative. If the knees aren't bending very well, doesn't mean to say you haven't got good experience of yoga. We just have to adapt a few things here and there. So I want you to keep, now this is really important, you need to keep your buttock down. Keep your buttock down. I need to turn this mic a little bit because it's getting in the way. Okay, so you want to see that your head is rested and you're going back onto your heels in this way. So let the head rest. Be in this position. Lengthen your arms. Now, gradually, as you start to extend, and those of you who are doing the chair variation of this, you can walk your foam pads forward, but I want you to see that you walk your hands forward in this way. Walk your hands forward. Walk your hands forward. And still get that extension through the spine. Okay, well done. And now releasing and coming up. So what we're going to do now is to come into a forward action. So when you come into this action, you want to lift up through the center of the body. Now, before we go forward, I want you to see you interlock your fingers behind your back. Lift the sternum chest so strongly. So you know that a forward action isn't a forward action, it's an open action and an open chest. So keep the hands in this position and come forward. Now you've got to really lift right up in these thighs, otherwise they won't support you. You've got to find depth in these roots and extend. Now I happen to have a brick here, but that just happened to be there, so I'm resting my head there. It's not essential, but you could have a go at that. You can have a go at putting your head onto a couple of bricks or a few foam pads or a chair. Now the upper arms, Okay, come up. So I know some of you are already in this pose, so just hang on a second. We're just gradually growing this. So those of you who are not quite sure where your arms go, you're suddenly pushing them over your head. Now I want you to stay watching the screen. So I'm not going to have the support there now, because it's blocking a little bit. It's nice for the first go, but now I want to lift in those legs and then see how far with those arms go over in this way. And then releasing. Oh, that's quite strong. Come on, have a go if you haven't already practiced this. Have a go at it. Okay, and see, can you get those arms a little bit further over? Can you energize those shoulders, keeping that nicely? Yeah, all of this is really, really beneficial for these shoulders. Okay, and then release in. Stand in Tadasana. Come up slowly, mind. Okay, still with this idea of the arms extending back again. So change the finger locks so the other little fingers on the outside, and just stand in your Tadasana. Push down as you get the length through the center of the body. So a soft inhalation, soft exhalation. Okay, and then releasing. Well done. We haven't finished with the arms yet, I know. We come back down to floor level again. So what we're going to do now is to take the hands onto the bricks for Pervoltanasana. So first of all, we want to see that the bricks are in the right place. You can see it's almost like to the outer back of the pelvis, just a little bit away from the back of the pelvis there. Now the first action I'm going to make is like this tabletop. So I'm going to come into this tabletop action and lift up. Press into the feet and lifting up. If you can, let the head go, but otherwise just lift up. And then releasing down, straightening the legs. Okay, so the biggest action that comes now is with the legs straight. So it's quite a job. So you have to see that you come up and then see that you lift all the way. So you might be able to get that opening. So what happens in Pervoltanasana is the whole body has to broaden and move into the skeletal body. So it's not the easiest of poses. Okay, so have one more go. So whichever way you found you were able to manage. You saw that in my demonstration I bent the legs slightly, then straightened them. That worked quite well for me, but you might want to just go up. Okay, so you're all done. You've all had a go, hopefully. All right, so now we're going to put the bricks forward like this. Put your hands onto the bricks. Now you might want to have a wall if you're a bit scared that they slip. So don't worry about that. If you do, you do. I'm just gripping a little bit with my little finger and my thumb. So I'm holding the brick. Now you want to see that again, where we practiced before, the weight came forward. Remember that. So you can feel an attention of effort going into those forearms. Now you've got to go up. You want to see that you don't lose that. So go up with the legs, up with the buttocks, look forward, and then push yourself back. Be careful if those bricks start to move, then put them against a wall. And extend. Adho Mukha Svanasana again. and then releasing down. Okay, so what's coming now is to turn these bricks this way and see. Now it's a bit of a weird shape. It's a little bit odd, all of this arm work in the forward bending action, but see if you can come up now with the hands in this position and lift up. So you can't really go back very well. You have to go up through the abdomen, through the inner thighs, keeping this action. Ground down into the thumbs, into the bricks, all of this action. And then releasing. Okay, so you can see I've got some bricks here. So you're going to need to have your mat to the wall for Pinchamariyasana. So I just want you to have a look at this. I'm going to put my supports around. So I've got the belt support. And then we come into this action. Now I'm just going to have a little bit of support here. So it stops the arms folding in. Can you see that? Because what tends to happen in this pose, when you're really tight in the shoulders, what will happen is this area will just fold in. So we don't want that to happen. We want to see that we are connecting with this. So being in this position and coming up in this way. So you want to see that you're grounding down with the forearms very strongly and lifting up through the center of the body. So you can see that action. All right, so just have a go with this and see that the action is you just cup the side of the brick like that. I've got this here to make it a broader stance. So you want to see that you get that action. Now a lot of people struggle with this action because there's a lack of length in the arm. This is like a thigh area where it's really tight. It's difficult to lift the knees up and to get that effect in the hip. And this is the same thing. You've got to find that in this pose. So what we tend to do is to have some support. So if this is the first time you're being introduced to this pose, then it might be a little bit scary. But either fold up your mat or have a blanket so that you lift the heel of the elbow up. You lift the heel of the elbow up. So just have a look here. So I'm just folding this in a nice way so that just the heel of the elbow goes there. So I want to move it sufficiently. You can fold your mat in this way as well. So you're in this position. And you want to see that you lift your abdomen and press down with these forearms. Now, these forearms need to really press down very, very well. So you're in this position. And then lifting up, looking forward, and seeing that you come up eventually. Now, that may be a bit scary for some of you, but you've got to remember that it is a process. So don't worry about that. So when you're here, you've got all this nice support. Lift the abdomen, lift up, and just practice. Lift one leg, and then lift the other leg. And then see, can you bend the knees? Can you then extend one leg away? Then can you kick up? Okay, so have a go with that. Have a go. And sometimes we've worked in moving the body, kicking one leg the other, until it becomes so mindless that actually all of a sudden all the fear goes out of the body and you might kick up. So have a go with this, see where you are with it, and then try and have a go. Otherwise, just do the preparation work. It's no problem. I'm going to sit on a couple of foam pads. All right, so those of you on the chair, if you're going to find this extremely difficult still, sit on the chair and do it. So look at this. I'm going to take this leg and bring it in. So I want to try and maintain the back work. So the back needs to lengthen up and we bring the leg. Now I want to see that the leg comes up, and where we made that fist with the Gomukhasana, we've got to see that goes in. Goes in. There's a breadth and broadness across the back body. Goes in. Now, this is not the ultimate to just get the foot towards your forehead, but you're working towards getting the height. If you're on the chair, you can do the same thing. You just lift one leg. Okay, so let's do the other side. So now, holding on, draw the abdomen nicely in. See, can you hold on? Can you get this action? Here. Now, dorsal spine in when you made that fist in Gomukhasana. Just try and get that lift up. Make sure this hip is coming forward. Don't let it fall back. It's got to come forward. It's the leg that goes back, not the hip. The hip stays forward, and then dorsal spine in. Spread those areas between the shoulder blades. And then see, can you bring that leg? Can you bring that leg? All right, so it's a toughie. It's a toughie. Have a go. See if you can get that action. Okay, you done both sides? If not, pause the video and continue and just get those actions. You might want to have a couple of goes at this. All right, so we're coming into this next action, which is a little bit more demanding because it's a lift. Now, those of you who are on the chair, you can repeat what you were doing just now, but otherwise, we do this action. So it's a little bit deeper. Don't worry if you're on the chair and you're using a belt maybe around your foot, or you are lifting the leg up. It's still really, really important that you get that agility in the hip. So now I'm going to try and take that leg up. So then I've got to see that I grip the outer thigh into the body, It's got to all grip nicely. And I roll forward in this way. Now the abdomen needs to go back to the spine, and this leg needs to pull back in. Oh, what a job that is. So it might be that you're repeating the previous pose just to get more agility in your hips, or you may have a go at Ekahasta Bhujangasana. So it's quite a difficult one. So let's do, again, if you've already started, fine. If you're catching up, don't worry, go at your own pace. So again, remember that when you take this leg up, you want to get good agility. Now, this outer thigh, this one here, it's got to grip into the body itself. It's got to move in so that you can get that agility in the hip. This is a hard one. When you lift up, you pull this leg right back into the socket. You draw the abdomen in, you roll forward, and you extend. So it might be that you have a go with the bricks, and then you take the bricks away and have a go. See if you can do it without the bricks. Those of you on the chair still get that agility in the hips, still lifting the legs. No problem. It's a really nice way of working. All right. So we're going to now come into Dandasana to just give you a chance. Everybody now, whatever you were doing, comes into Dandasana, sitting either on bricks or to the floor. Pull up your kneecaps and thighs, lift up, chest up, draw the dorsal spine in, keep that upper chest lifted, and breathe. Soft inhalation and exhalation. Okay, good. Chair Shavasana now. So grab your chair. I'm going to put a blanket on the chair. So we have this foam pad, and then there we go. So you're just going to be in your Shavasana in this position.